Okay, welcome everyone to this Informatics Europe's Gender Equality in Informatics webinar. So organized together with the UGAIN Cost Action Network. So our speaker today will be Szlavi from the Norwegian University of Science and Technology. But before I give the floor to Anna, so let me use 5 minutes to present the hosting organization. So I'm Pekka Orponen. I'm a board member of the Informatics Europe, and I'm the host for today's event. So what is Informatics Europe? This is a European non-profit association which was founded as a department and S&D's meeting venue, but has evolved towards a more inclusive informative leaders community. It's somewhat analogous to the Computing Research Association, CRA, in the United States, if you are familiar with that. So we are representing the public and private research community of informatics in Europe and neighboring countries, and but not with personal members, but the members are institutions such as departments, institutes, faculties, etc., companies. And here is an overview of the current membership. So these are institutions in different countries all over Europe, about more than 170 altogether at the moment from more than 30 countries, growing at a good rate. There is a full list on the website, and if your institution is not yet a member, so please join. Right, so the association has many activities. Much of the activities are now structured or happening around working groups in different focus areas. So there's a working group on education, a working group on ethics, and diversity and inclusion used to be called Women in Research, in Informatics Research and Education, now more broadly, diversity and inclusion working group, open science working group, data analysis and reporting, sustainability and policy recommendation working group. And the association also a partner in many European projects, endeavors. There's of course UGAIN, the co-sponsor of today's event, which is the European Network on Gender and something in Informatics. Sorry, I don't remember the full expression now, but Anna will tell you more about that. But then there's Informatics for All, which is a coalition for K-12 education, informatics, digital humanities, which is like the network for the impact of informatics on society and humanity at large, ethics for EU, kind of ethics practices and educating informatics, and so on. And there are many activities and services that I won't even start listing, so you should go to the website and have a closer look at. There is lots of valuable data collection and other information there. One of the main annual activities is the European Computer Science Summit Conference, which is not a scientific conference, but this kind of get together of the community to discuss this common, kind of put in a little bit highbrow way, the common strategy and policy issues in informatics shared across Europe. A kind of a complementary activity, which is very important, is just networking, meeting your colleagues and peers who are worried about and concerned and puzzled about exactly the same things in your informatics environment as everybody else. And it's going to take place in Edinburgh in October this year. So always very inspiring event. So please have a look at and register and be there. And then okay, so then there are several spotlights on different community activities, okay, part of the association activities. So let me maybe start with this higher education data portal, which kind of collects data about all European education, academic education activities in informatics, student numbers, graduate graduate numbers on bachelor, master, and doctoral student level, even some salary statistics. And so this data you cannot find anywhere else except on the Informatics Europe website. And then there's an annual Informatics Quality Award. There are very high quality academic leadership development courses. Maybe I don't read any. Oh, and then there's again UGAIN once again. So the most recent one is the CV repository, where students, the member institution can submit their CVs, and then companies who are partnering with this initiative can have a look at the CVs and then contact the students for job opportunities and so lots of things going on. But I shouldn't spend speaker time on these, because now there is the website, and then there's Twitter feed and LinkedIn page and YouTube, and a YouTube channel which will eventually contain also this presentation. And once again, so this webinar series co-organized and co-sponsored by the UGAIN network. But I should now give the floor to our speaker, Szlavi, and she's also going to tell you more about UGAIN and activities emerging from that framework. So Anna, please, I don't have your splash page here, so you should present that then. Right. So thank you, and thank you for the opportunity to talk about Informatics Europe. And now over to Anna.
Thank you, Pekka. Now I'm gonna share my screen. And you should be able to see it. Can you?
Yes.
Cool, thank you. Thank you for the opportunity to talk within this webinar series, which is specifically about gender equality in informatics. Last time, Susan McKeever from TU Dublin was talking about initiatives at her institution, and I'm going to touch upon several of the things that she mentioned, but today's focus will be on how to promote gender balance specifically through a better involvement of young people. This also means that I will tell you about UGAIN, which is the co-organizer of this webinar series. As Pekka mentioned, my name is Anna Szlavi, and I'm a postdoctoral researcher at the Norwegian University of Science and Technology. Here, I'm actually wearing a different hat. I am the Young Researchers and Innovators Coordinator at UGAIN, and that's why I had the chance to present to you today. As I mentioned before, this presentation will focus on UGAIN. And I understand that several of you in the audience are already involved in UGAIN, but I hope to still tell you some new things or remind you about some things. And I also try to provide enough information for those of the people in the audience who don't really know UGAIN. So first, we will start with a general overview about this network, UGAIN, and then we will go into more specifically young researchers, which is a specific focus for UGAIN. This I will do concentrating on a pretty recent project that we have done, which is called the Gen Z Project. And this will also give me the opportunity to explain to you what specifically you can do within UGAIN. And thirdly, we will go into a work in progress, so to say, so future plans, which is a peer support network for young researchers within the UGAIN group. So whenever you see an orange slide, such as this one, you know that we have gotten to the start of a new section. So this is the first big chapter. What is YouGain? So I'd like to start with a picture whenever talking about a community, because I feel community is first and foremost about the people. And that's the same with YouGain. This is the first picture that we took together in 2021 in Madrid. Actually, the project started in 2020, but then there was still COVID, so we couldn't meet. So this was the first big gathering. As you can see on the picture, YouGain is the European Network for Gender Balance in Informatics. And as such, this is a cost action. And if you don't know what COST is, basically a European framework which supports collaboration, cooperation. More specifically, YouGain aims to improve gender balance in informatics at all levels. Because, for example, we would like to give an overview and try to find solutions on the K-12 level, so school level, but also on the university education level, as much as on the professorship level. This is mainly an academic network, but we are also trying to involve society and the industry as well. Administratively speaking, YouGain can be illustrated like this. We have an action chair who is the so-called scientific head, let's say, of the project or the action, which is Letizia Iaccheri, also from NTNU. And the grant holder, that is the institution which deals with the money, let's say, is Informatics Europe, so the organizer of this specific webinar. Since Pekka already gave us an overview about Informatics Europe's activities, I only wanted to label one event or one activity here, which is the Minerva Awards. So the award which is given each year to the person or institution who's done the most for gender balance in the previous year. And to call your attention to the upcoming presentations, the awardees of last year are going to give the upcoming 2 presentations, so it's worth coming. YouGain is a very large network by now. So we started in 2020, and it's going to be a 4-year project. So now we are in the 3rd year. By now, we have over 150 members. So we grew a lot since that first picture that you saw at the beginning. And our members are predominantly from European countries. Right now, we cover 42 countries. As I said before, YouGain is a cost action, which means that most of the budget goes to collaborative events. So, for example, our main activities are conferences and training schools. And you're going to see some examples in the upcoming slides to both of these. But it is also essential that out of these collaborative events, we produce practical outcomes. So we have more than 20 joint papers so far. And it is also our goal to create informational booklets and country resources, because we aim to be able to give an overview about gender balance in each of the European countries. You will read, I will be able to show you some resources in the later slides as well. So training schools are one important activity in the life of YouGain. Our second training school will be just in a month in Rome, Italy. And this time the focus will be on qualitative and quantitative methods as well as on social skills. On this slide, you can see our three speakers, two of which, Geraldine Fitzpatrick and Austin Rayner, are actually also the moderator speakers of Informatics Europe's Leadership Academy. I would also like to call your attention to another upcoming event, which is ACM's Women Courage Conference, with which we collocate our annual meeting. Why this can be relevant to several of you here is because this is a grand event and a junior conference, let's say, in the sense that, for example, last year we took some of our bachelor students, some of our master students, and even this year we also expect not just PhD students and other early career academics, but also master level students. So besides the poster sessions, we will have workshops, keynote speakers, and also a hackathon, as well as a career fair. So it's going to be a great event. Unfortunately, we already passed the workshop and the poster submission deadline, but you are also invited to just attend the event, which will be in Trondheim, Norway, at the end or in the middle of September. Then I also promised to show you some specific resources that UGAIN has produced and that you can access. If you go to UGAIN's website and click on the results/deliverables, you will be able to find three so-called booklets already. The first one is focusing on K-12 students, specifically about the advantages of choosing computer science. Then the second one now focuses on university level education and talks about best practices in recruiting and retaining female students. And finally, the third booklet, which is available, contains best practices and advice on the journey of PhD students and postdocs to faculty. So already here you can see that UGAIN tries to address several of the levels of gender balance within computer science or informatics. You have the QR code here, so you can just scan it and you'll get to the deliverables page, and each of these booklets are downloadable. Now, this was the overview of UGAIN. The next section will tell you about specific projects and the process of those projects realized within UGAIN. Like I mentioned to you, today's talk aims to tell you about gender balance or increasing gender balance through the better involvement of young people. Now, this project, the so-called Gen Z project, does that in two ways. On the one hand, it was young researchers who were delivering this project. On the other hand, it's focusing on young people. And once again, I need to start with the people, because that is what I feel really determines how successful a project will be, because if you like the team, then it's bound to be more fruitful and more productive. If you look at the names or the nicknames that I gave to each of the participants, probably you can already guess, or you can already see how much I liked working with them. And of course, these tags are only a little bit of the contributions that each of them made, because I must say that why we have worked together so effectively is exactly because we complemented each other and supported each other in so many ways. To introduce my team, I had three PhD students working with me: Carolina from Poland, Sarina from Italy, and Irina from Switzerland. So you can see that not only are we from different universities, we're also from different countries and parts of Europe. And next to this, our background, our original background, which landed us in computer science, is also different. I originally focused on language and linguistics, Carolina on economics, Serena on finance, Irina on the design. Like I said, it's exactly because of this diversity that we managed to contribute so well to working together and to the success of the project. What specifically the goal of our collaboration was or has been, it was first this action deliverable. So you have to know that every cost action has a number of deliverables, which, as the name says, need to be delivered by a set deadline. We had a booklet, the first one that I listed you before. So the one which is aimed at students, addressing the advantages of choosing computer science. Well, at the time when we got together in last August, this booklet has not yet been started. So we thought that it would be a good benefit of the action as well as for us. But then we posed the question, if we need to reach out to young people, how can we do that? So first we did our research, which meant that we studied how Gen Z operates, well, who Gen Z is, and how best to work with them. So Gen Z are people born between 1995 and 2010, were considered to be digital natives. What this means is that they have been already born into technology. And this has a basic impact on the way they work and the way they process information. So first of all, they assess the interests very fast. Actually, we are supposed to have 8 seconds according to the literature. And since they are much more connected with each other through social media and connected with the happenings of the world, they care much more about social justice than previous generations. It is also because of this that they expect jobs that align with their values. So now we know who they are, but how can we reach them? So according to research, it's visual content that is best to reach out to them, and especially short videos if we kind of remember the 8-second rule. Since they use social media, especially Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube on a daily basis, it is best to communicate with them through this platform or these platforms. So because of this, we thought that despite the original description of the deliverable, which is like a booklet, we believe that a traditional text-based booklet would not be the best choice if we wanted to reach Gen Z. Instead, we decided to create short video interviews with role models in our circles and within YouGain. And then we wanted to upload these videos into an interviews library and social media, and then share and distribute them. When we had the role model interviews, we wanted to have a short, well, 3-minute long video, which could be the main video or the pitch of this project. This video first started with an animation, which basically created the background of the topic, which meant that we kind of gave information through statistics and animation about the importance of IT, the diversity of IT, etc. And then this led to the excerpts from specific interviews. So on the one hand, we gave both data in this video and personal testimonials. We uploaded the video to UGAIN's YouTube channel, and within a matter of weeks, it became the second most watched video of UGAIN. So despite this success, we felt that this was not enough, and we wanted to upload every single testimonial or short video to social media, specifically to YouTube Shorts and TikTok, because we wanted to create a more prolonged reach out. And actually, by the end of this uploading process, we have amassed over 3,000 views, which for an academic project is pretty amazing. And actually, because of this, we were featured in several media portals afterwards. Now, since I don't only want to talk about the projects, but I would like to show you how it was. Here's one of the videos, actually the one which was watched the most. And you have to know that in this video, two of Letitia's and my master thesis writers are talking about the project. So this way you can also see how we work or how they work.
Have you ever wondered if an app could increase diversity and inclusion? We are currently working on a master thesis about intersectionality in computer science.
We are going to be developing a mentorship program that will help increase inclusion for everyone in computer science. During our thesis, we will get to do interviews, user tests, and also design and develop an app. For our thesis, we get to utilize both our theoretical and practical skills while helping solve the Sustainable Development Goals and also promote software for a better society.
So this was Marit and Sandra, but if you want to watch more of these short testimonials, feel free to scan this QR code, which links you to our YouTube.
Have you ever wondered?
On this next slide, you can also have the TikTok link. All right, so this was the overview of the social media project, but since all four of us who were working on this project are academics, we thought that after all, we need to write papers. So I wanted to see whether we can actually write a paper about this as well, or in connection with this. What we were specifically interested in was how these testimonials by computer science professionals actually align with the interest of Gen Z. So we already had the data collection, and then we processed the data with NLP methods and data frequency and qualitative analysis as well. Without giving away the paper, I just wanted to show you some of the, some excerpts from some of the testimonials. And what you can already see here is that computer science is seen in the context of diversity as a creative or powerful tool to improve people's life and to solve everyday, specifically IT problems. If you would like to know more, we are going to present this in July at the HCI International Conference in Copenhagen, Denmark. You are more than welcome to come to our session, which will be in the Design for Inclusion section on July the 28th. The topic, the title is Bridging Values, the Inclusion of Young Generations in Computing. But if you cannot make it to Copenhagen, the proceedings will be out soon, so feel free to read the paper. Now, to wrap up the entire project, let me give you this overview. So as you can see, or as you could hear from this couple of past minutes, it's been a pretty long work together. We started in August 2022 and about to finish at the end of July, which is the date of the conference. In this 1 year, we have done more than 20 role model interviews and social media posts, which also means that we delivered an action deliverable and produced 2 papers. But right now, only one of them has been accepted, so we'll see about the other. We got a lot of support from UGAIN and COST to deliver this. First, we had a virtual mobility grant for the deliverable, then another one for writing the papers. It is so because for every action, what really matters is that the deliverables need to be made by the deadline, but it's also important to have as many papers as possible. So that's why there's support for these 2 kinds of projects. And thirdly, one of our members also received an ITC conference grant in order to be able to attend the upcoming HCI conference. An ITC conference grant is given to so-called ITC country participants, so young people who come from, let's say, less wealthy countries. So we have reached the 3rd section. So far, what you could see is that UGAIN is working on gender balance in informatics. And then I showed you one specific project, which was trying to work on improving gender balance through the better involvement of young people. Now, you may wonder how much this is sustainable, or this was just one project and it's going to be over. So the answer to this is that I hope that this is not over. What I'm proposing right now, what I would like to create as the Young Researchers and Innovators Coordinator is a peer mentoring framework for our young researcher group within UGAIN. The idea is to be able to support each other, to help develop and self-develop, and to be able to network. Whenever I say young researchers, we're talking about approximately 50 people from very different parts of Europe. Why I would like to do this is because literature shows that the main success factors for marginalized groups within computer science, so for example, for women in computer science, are mentoring, networking, and peer support. But I have to acknowledge that it does have another personal motivation, which is that for me, this past project that I just showed you ended up to be an experience of spontaneous peer support. So we did not come together as a peer support network. I mean, that was not the goal. We had specific tasks to do. But because of these tasks, because of our regular meetings, I feel that it turned out to be a peer support network as well, which, as you can see, turned out to be pretty productive because of the deliverable, because of the paper, because of the social media project. So the goal would be to be able to extend this experience to the broader network of young researchers in UGAIN, because this could lead to a better retention, and as such to a better gender balance in computer science. Now, in this goal, I have been inspired by several initiatives. First and foremost, at my institution, NTNU, we've recently had the so-called EDUN mentoring project, which was not only offering mentoring opportunity to PhD students, but it also had the goal to increase the number of female professors. So you can see that it had this, it was trying to work for gender balance on kind of two levels. Secondly, I have also been inspired by Informatics Europe's Leadership Academy, which is both an online and a personal, a face-to-face opportunity for early career or mid-career leaders. And finally, I wanted to mention two of TOV's mentoring frameworks. First, there's a peer mentoring framework in Vienna, and there's also a postdoc mentoring framework specifically for STEM female students and also IT students. Here I have to say that my recent visit to TU was also supported by COST and UGAIN. So with all these shoulders that I'm standing on, I have been trying to create the best scenario for UGAIN, because obviously all of these projects that I'm mentioning here, well, except for the Informatics Europe Leadership Academy, they are face-to-face because they are located at one specific institution. So not everything can be transferred to our UGAIN context. Here, let's say the big challenge is that UGAIN is an online network, which means that whatever we are planning, whatever that's bound to be sustainable, has to be online, which is obviously well, not as attractive as face-to-face meetings. The other challenge is that people are from different parts of Europe, from different institutions, so they have different resources and different information that is needed. So basically what I feel that we can realize within UGAIN is an online coaching and peer support with the opportunity that we have an upcoming training school, which is going to be face-to-face. So the idea is that in Rome, young researchers are going to meet. They will have the chance to already take part in some level of group formation. So they will already know each other to some extent. So to say yes to an online group coaching will be much less riskier. So the kind of threshold of entry will be much lower. So after the training school, we will be able to launch an online group coaching for young researchers. And besides the coaching part, so beside having specific coaches or speakers present, connected to one specific topic. And now what I'm having in mind is international mobility as a central topic, because that is like a common thread among UGAIN young researchers and something that is very relevant in academics and especially for young researchers. It's also very important that this online group coaching will offer peer support. So it's not only the coaches and the speakers who will kind of be relevant, but also the fact of having their peers present and having them regularly meet with them. So the goal with this online coaching and peer support is to be able to expand one's network, to feel connected and belonging, and to receive and share information. all of these have proved to be important success factors for young people, especially women within computer science. So this is what I wanted to tell you today. I wanted to give you some information about UGAIN, about the young researchers' work, and about this upcoming peer support network that will hopefully contribute to a better retention of women by focusing on young researchers. You can see my email over there, and the QR code is my LinkedIn. So feel free to reach out to me, either one of these channels, or, well, now we have 15 minutes to talk. Thank you for your attention.
Okay, thanks a lot, Anna. Yes. So we have 50 minutes for questions and discussion. So anyone?
I can say something, Pekka, from my side. Two things. One, that Anna is one of the best results and ambassador of the whole UGAIN. So through you, as far as I understand, through UGAIN, you met Monica Landoni, and then you met Asa Tantianu, and you are doing so much. It's really, yeah, you are really a very, very good member of this network. But having said that, I want to say something that is even more important, that UGAIN is not mine, is not Anna's, is not Bara, is something that everybody own. And when it comes to the continuation of UGAIN, everybody in this meeting and everybody in the UGAIN is free and invited to reuse the results to make new projects that will be spin-off of UGAIN. So I think that the people should not sit and think that Bara and I will own everything and will do new projects, but rather that we would like that people like you, Anna, and Carolina, and everybody who is involved do in the future your own projects that make UGAIN to live further. So this is what I wanted to say.
Thank you, Letizia. And I just wanted to reiterate what you're saying. I also feel that UGAIN has given a lot to me. For example, this job and the ability to be able to work with you.
Hey. So actually, I made a lot of notes. So can I, if nobody else is having any questions, so maybe I can ask some. So you mentioned this. I mean, maybe I probably missed. I was not paying enough attention, but you mentioned this, like this in-person UGAIN training school idea. So does this actually exist already, this activity?
Yeah, so last year we had the first training school that was in Lugano. And this year we are having a second training school, which will be in a month in Rome. So this training school is like typically a 2-day long event. So this is, yeah, like a training school in the sense that it's a mini conference, let's say.
Yeah. I'm asking mostly because I'm selfishly wondering how to get our people involved. I'm not sure if we are a member of the UGAIN network. At some point we were maybe candidate member, but I'm not sure if we are. Letizia can maybe tell us if Aalto is a member or not, but somehow I know it's always an issue of time, you know, when my colleagues, so they are so, and I'm not talking about the senior colleagues, but everybody is so involved in their daily business. And but if there's a way to somehow capture people by this personal contact at some physical location, so then that might be something that could be effective and doable. So online things, I'm not sure. I mean, online things are good for something, but to kind of to do long-term things, I'm not a big believer in online activities. So there has to be this personal thing.
I agree.
That's
That's why I was a bit kind of concerned. How can we make any kind of peer support network when all we have is online? But I feel that Carolina and Serena, who's in the audience, they are very good examples, because last year they came to our first training school. They got to know each other there. Irena, the third member, got to know me when I was visiting Lugano. So we already had some personal kind of connection. And because of this, when I pitched this project, they said yes. So I feel that if there's some kind of face-to-face event, and UGAIN does offer from year to year some face-to-face events, then it's much easier to make this work also on the online.
Yeah. So I'm not sure if I would be able to convince some my colleagues to commit to the networking part, but I could convince our head of department to pay somebody from the from the younger crowd to participate in such an event, and then maybe that would be some significant impact for future things. So again, I don't know if they are members, or I don't know. Are we members, Letizia? Yes, no.
Well, I wanted to say that from Finland, Valentina Lenarduzzi is very active. She's organizing many things and doing a lot of dissemination and so on. And something that I want to share, that Anna shared many things, but maybe not this, that Anna and the young researchers are also organizing the UGAIN event connected to the ASEAN Women in September in Norway. And I pasted the link in the chat. And if you have any of you has resources to send students to that event, that is a cooperation between the conference and the UGAIN, we will be very happy to receive your students.
So, any other questions? Questions from somebody else? I mean, well, while you are thinking, let me ask another one, very simple one. You mentioned these UGAIN booklets, and I'm familiar with this recruiting and retaining women booklet, which has been very well received. So are these other ones also available in print, or are they only online? And one order print copies.
They are online. Letizia, are there going to be any print?
Yes, we plan to print them toward the end of the action.
Okay. I always distribute this recruit and retaining women in our coffee lounges, and they disappear so fast that
That's
a
good sign.
Yeah. Again, physical materials have certain advantages compared to online materials. There's so much online stuff, but the physical things there, and yeah. Okay, so now
any other question from you, Pekka?
I have lots, but I should give somebody else some opportunity too. So. Yeah. So since we maybe still have a few minutes, so let me ask. I'm sorry, I don't want to be talking all the time, but so in your dealings with this Gen Z contingent, so do you have some data or some gut feeling for what are the kind? I mean, you mentioned social responsibility and so, but sort of what are the things in ICT or informatics that would be the really appealing aspects to this? Is it social responsibility? Yes, cool, but what about, I don't know, where ethics is maybe that AI, whatever, design, what are the things that kind of inspire this contingent of people?
So what we found was that it's important for them that computer science or IT is not just an abstract tool. It's not just the kind of technology, but it's connected to the world. It's connected to the to life, different kind of social themes. So as you say, social responsibility or having an impact on whatever part. I mean, it's not that I'm, so what we haven't kind of seen, whether it's like healthcare, whether it's AI, so what are the main areas, but the important thing is that they need to see that it's not in isolation, it's not just technical skills, but it's something that's actually in connection and in dialogue with the real world that they're living in.
Okay, it's a good thing to understand. So, because people make choices for some reasons, and it would be really good to understand the reasons why people make some choices and not the other ones. So very cool. Oh, anybody else? Questions? Well, if nobody wants to speak up, so let us thank Anna once again for a really great and inspiring talk. We are very informed and inspired, and one can find. I also took many pictures of this QR code, so I can look at them later. So all the information is there, and I guess the video will also eventually appear on the Influence Europe website.
Yes, and I think I also need to send you the presentation. So the presentation and the QR codes and the links will also be available later.
Okay. Well, thanks once again, and let's close this webinar then with one more round of applause.
Thanks to you, Pekka.
Thank you.
Bye, bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye. Bye.